Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. First off, my hair. Wow. That is not a good look. I got called down to my brother's house. I got called down to my brother's house about some stuff that was going on. And, yeah. But I'm here. And no. I was just running behind. And then my little 5-year-old niece wanted ice cream from great grandma. So I had to walk her down here, and then I had to walk her home. So needless to say, I am late and I apologize. Do I know Mr. Robot? I don't know if I do or don't. That is weird. She got her ice cream. I am not going to do my usual post, but I do want to remind you guys, I'm going to say it verbally versus otherwise. I am not... Oh, I was going to change shirts. I'm sorry, guys. If you were in my live yesterday, I'm probably in the same shirt. Yeah, I was gonna change and didn't get that far. I am in new clothes though, except for the shirt. I do have an animal with me, but before I get to that, I want to stress that we have gone through some uncomfortable things here in the US. I'm going to ask those of you in my channel right now not to discuss those items because I'm tired of hearing about it. Discussion of those topics will get you removed from live. That's how much I'm tired of hearing about it. I do have an animal with me. Daniel, we're not going to get into it. Okay? I do have a little friend with me. I'm not going to take her out of the container. And there's a reason for that, because I don't want her escaping into my room. So I apologize for that right now. She is going to be released into the wild when we're done. And I will do what I can to let you see her. You probably, there is a flower in there. The flower was put in there to maybe help her stay a little bit less a little bit less scared, maybe a little bit less stressed out. She hasn't been in here super long. So this is a field cricket. We're going to open up the jar. And we're going to do it like that. Can you guys see her? Hopefully you guys can see her. Nope, she just pooed. So this is a female field cricket. She's pretty good sized. I was gonna do an American toad, but that was like at 11 o'clock when I found it, and I didn't want it sitting forever in a container. So, couple of things about her. You'll notice this black if they're used to people, it may not be an issue. But it could also be a sign that it's sick. It just depends. So this is a field cricket. It is a female. And you'll notice that she has that black I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that black? She has a black, what looks like a stinger coming out of her back. Okay, that is not a stinger. Bye, Daniel. That is actually the ovipositor. And that is what they use to... You're not going to nibble on my fingers. That is what she's going to use to put her eggs into the ground. Now, somebody asked the difference between a cricket and a grasshopper. They're in the same family. Actually. So one of the differences between these guys and a grasshopper, believe it or not, is their antenna. Crickets have really long antennas. I don't know if you can see the antenna, but they have really, really long antennas compared with a cricket or compared with a grasshopper. Grasshoppers have short antennas, crickets have long. Grasshoppers have ears, and it's going to sound really funny, but grasshoppers have ears on the back. Make sure I say this right. So crickets, when they make noise, she might be eating it. I don't know. She may not be. Yes, they do. They have little ears at the base of their abdomens, whereas crickets actually have their ears on their front legs. How crazy is that? Another thing is crickets actually make noise not by rubbing their legs together, but by rubbing their wings together. And they do have wings. Go back. That's another difference. Crickets are also crepuscular, meaning that they come out basically at dusk. Whereas crickets tend to be out, crickets are crepuscular and grasshoppers come out during the day. That's why if you want to find a cricket during the day, you have to be looking underneath stuff. In order to find it. Cricket or grasshoppers eat mainly plant material, grasshoppers eat mainly plant material. Crickets, however, will partake of animals, which is why if you keep tarantulas, you cannot keep crickets in with your tarantulas overnight, because your tarantula could get nibbled on by a cricket. So those are some differences. Crickets also have larger heads. These guys are Orthoptera. There are 18,000 species within that group. 700 of them are found in Europe. Most of these guys do not fly. Most of the ones in this order do not fly. However, locusts, which are a type of grasshopper-ish, they can actually fly. Males typically do the most singing. Yes. They had those really long antennas. That's what I was hoping to find. To be honest. There are also, so there's crickets, and there are just crazy amounts of different animals. There are crickets who spend most of their lives up in trees. Right now, I think she was cleaning her antennas. Now, she was not the, oops, sorry. I keep taking her out of frame. She was actually not the largest cricket that I saw today. No, I said they're related to crickets. They're actually probably closer related to grasshoppers. I can tell it's a female, one, by the size, and two, oh, it's really hard to see it. Yeah, I'm there, silly thing. She actually has, and I don't know if you can see it. But she has the spike coming out of her backside. And it's called an ovipositor. And that is what she's going to use to drive the eggs into the ground. Grasshoppers will have the same thing. And actually, bees and wasps have them too. Theirs is just modified into a stinger. Female insects are typically always larger than the males. These guys are pretty common in my area. I had to go down to my brother's house to find her. And that's where she'll go back to. She'll go back to my brother's house once we're done. But insects as a whole are doing not so good anymore. As a group. So I was glad to find something to show you. Now, my brother said that if I go down into the garden, I might be able to find some other stuff. Yeah, now I could actually hear them calling this morning when I went down to my brother's house. Probably because I had moved stuff and they were upset. But I didn't know. I was hoping to have a snake and do it outside. But you got to be really careful when you do stuff like that. She definitely knows that I'm up to something. In Japan, this would be good luck. So, any questions? These guys are not dangerous to humans, obviously. Well, remember though, yeah, um, they're not poisonous. Some of the big ones can take a nibble. Remember, we talked about the predatory bush cricket on a live? I don't know if that was on this channel or the other channel, but some of the larger crickets do have can bite and can draw blood. Whoops, I am not getting... So, she can have quite a few babies. So when it comes, well, she will eventually, she'll have babies. And I'm sure she has brothers and sisters. These guys typically mate in late summer. And then come the end of summer, the adults dies. But they don't live in families, right? The eggs will hatch in late spring, early summer, and the babies will come out. And they will look like adults, just way smaller. They can be pests. They don't really... They're not going to do significant damage in the yard. So apart from being noisy, they're not really going to be a pain in the butt. Yeah, they can be loud. Definitely loud. I'm trying to see if... Now, she may also lay her eggs in decaying wood. The babies will go through 12 molts before they actually lay, before they become adults. So these guys are related to things like these guys are going to be related to animals like katydids, grasshoppers, locusts, wheatas, which are monster-sized things, tree crickets, sand crickets, grasshoppers, and at one time, it is no, yeah, they're related to katydids. Katydids look like grasshoppers. They are related to cicadas, but katydids are large, green. They sort of have wings that sort of make them make the wings sort of look like leaves. Let me close her up real quick, and I will show you a picture of a katydid. I don't know if katydids are limited to the Americas. No, katydids are not cicadas, but they are related. Actually, what I want... Oh, well. That is a katydid. Katydids are green, usually. I don't know if I can get... Hold on. I'm going to see if... I think they are. They really do sort of look like... It's the wings that really... So this is a big one. And you can see those wings. A lot of them will have veins on them. And some of those can actually be very aggressive. Well, not aggressive, but they can bite, some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. I love going out in nature and finding what's out there to find. She is actually eating right now, I think, maybe. I'm going to take her down and show my niece. Because I like doing that. So, yeah, so these guys are actually pretty much done for the year. They will probably keep hopping around and doing their thing. But they're getting ready to die for the year. The adults do not overwinter. Some insects do. These guys do not. Now, at one time, these guys had some other animals that were in their group. We now know that those groups are no longer a thing. But at one time, cockroaches and mantises were also in their family. They have since been removed, or their orders, sorry. They've since been removed and are now in separate groups. Some, yes. Some crickets, yes, can fly. Supposedly, field crickets can fly. I've never seen one fly. Camel crickets cannot fly. Mole crickets, I don't believe, can fly. But yeah, some of them can fly. And she does have wings. It's really, really hard to see. The babies stay in the ground as eggs until springtime. They don't hatch until after they will not hatch until spring. She does have wings. Now, rather those wings work for flight or not, I don't know. But I know she's going to be happy to be released, I'm sure. I will go down around 5 o'clock-ish and see if I can see anything to bring down. I love my brother's yard. They seem to have more wildlife than my parents' yard, which is kind of odd. But oddly enough, it seems true. Oh, she actually lifted up her wings just now. I don't know if you guys... I'm trying to be really careful with her. Yeah, well, Yeah, you would think. It may end up being a grasshopper. So I think I probably tortured her enough. Did I know Ross left? Or I know Ross is here. I'm going to. Is I know Daniel left. No. Did Baragon leave? He was here. I am so confused anymore. I don't want to end live, but I also want to get it back. Can you guys hold 5-10 minutes while I take this back and release it? Or should we just call it? I mean, I'm willing to stay on and chat as always. Hello? Okay. I'm going to leave and end live, and then we will see each other again at 6 p.m. Bye, everybody.